I'm Misha Hadaway, CEO and owner of Gentle Mama Counseling, and you're tuned into Ladies Power Lunch.
Hi, I'm Nadine Keller, CEO of Precision Sales Coaching and Training, and you are tuned into the Ladies Power Lunch Show.
Hi, I'm Debbie Sodergren, the CEO of Up Vibrations, and you are plugged into the Ladies Power Lunch Show.
Hi, I'm Christy Sullivan, human design expert, author, and speaker, and you are tuned in to the Ladies Power Lunch Show.
Hi, I'm Keisha Zullo, president of Events of Joy, and you're tuned into the Ladies Power Lunch Show.
Hi, I'm Mary Colangelo. I'm an international fashion therapist, and you are tuned in to the Ladies Power Lunch Show.
Hi, I'm LaQuisha Clemens, the CEO of Freedom Life Therapy and Wellness. You are tuned in to the Ladies Power Lunch Show.
Hi, I'm Kiana Coachman Strickland, also known as DJ Q Boogie. I'm the founder of Female DJ Association, and you are tuned into the Ladies Power Lunch Show.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for the Ladies Power Lunch Show. This is a wonderful, amazing place, and I'm your host. I'm so grateful that I get to be the one to guide you through this process. I am Dr. Davia Shepherd. I host this wonderful show called Grow Your Business Smarter, Live Your Optimal Life. And we are very aware that this is the most unwieldy title that has ever titled, but it hits all the points, and so we're not changing it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for being here today. And I want to say special thank you to all our guests who have shown up. In addition to hosting this show, which focuses on helping women in business to grow their business through collaboration, we also host an amazing, engaged Facebook community of women who are here, who are ready to support each other and help us all grow our businesses and thrive. And so if you're not as yet a member of our Ladies Power Lunch community, I just want you to know you're absolutely welcome, and we can't wait to meet you. And it's really, really easy to join us. Just go to growsmarter.com/login. Today's show is part of the new format that we have for the new season of the Grow Your Business Smarter, Live Your Optimal Life show. See how that rolls right off the tongue? You say that 3 times fast. It's where we get a panel of our outstanding members together, and we pose to them a question that is important to all our members, and then we get the benefit of their gifts and talents. We get the benefit of the mastermind to share with everybody. It's the beginning of the year, and not to timestamp this too much, because I do know that some people are catching this on the podcast, they're catching it on Apple TV, Roku TV, they're catching it on YouTube, they might be catching it on the replay. So I don't want to timestamp this too hard, but we're at the beginning of a year, and we're in the process of trying to make sure that we achieve our goals and our objectives. But sometimes, folks, the thing that's standing between us and the thing that we really, really want, it's not something else. It's not something out there. Sometimes it has something to do with what we are bringing to the table. And so today we're going to talk a little bit about how to get out of our own way and thrive as women in business for this new year. Our guest host today is Gail Petrowski. She is an amazing teacher, therapist, and coach, and she is going to guide the discussion. Also specially invited to our panel today, we have Annie Garland, who wrote the book about networking. We have Jackie Baldwin, who, when I have questions about money, and let's face it, folks, I always have questions about money, she is my go-to person. And we all know that when we need to get information about social media and how to be best there, we need to find the young folks. And so we have Morgan joining us as our social media expert today to share with us. So welcome to everybody. And before we dive in, I want to really, really quickly just give everybody an opportunity to introduce yourself. Just say who you are and what your business is. And at the end, we'll have an opportunity to share about any things that you are upcoming. I just want everybody who's watching along with us, who's joining along with us, to see the kinds of people who benefit from being a part of Ladies Power Lunch. So Marianne, would you go ahead and start by sharing who you are and what you do?
I would love to. Thank you. I'm Marianne Pack. I am the author and publisher at Envision Greatness Press, and this is our newest baby. Keys to Joyful Living and Dr. Divya did the foreword, so I'm very excited about that. And all of these ladies have collaborated from Ladies Power Lunch.
I love that so much. I am the champion for collaboration. I just believe, like really deeply, strongly believe this. And I've always believed this since I was a child. It could be based on my own personal laziness, but I believe that there's no reason that we need to recreate any wheels. Like they're already wheels. Getting back into the shop and building a new wheel, Why do that when you can phone a friend, folks, and say, hey, I need to build a wheel. Can I borrow your blueprint? And guess what? The folks that you're calling, they're your business besties and they're dying to help you, dying to support you to get you on board. So that's what Ladies Power Launch and the Grow Your Business Smarter, Live Your Optimal Life idea is all about. Annie, you're next on my screen. Can you just briefly share who you are and what you do?
Thank you. First of all, I'm so happy to be here with all these beautiful, talented women. And what I do is I connect people with a key for success. I wrote the book, Secrets of a Serial Networker. And I also wrote in Be the Beacon, speaking of collaboration, this one, I love this book, Davia. So it's been a wonderful trip doing that. And I create events for women with a focus on networking.
And believe me, if you've never been to one of Annie's events, you're missing out. You need to hop on board with that.
Thank you.
Jackie, please, will you share with everybody who you are and a little bit about what you do in the world?
Absolutely. And again, I echo Annie's words. It's just a delight and an honor to be here with all of you. So thank you. Thank you. I am Jackie Baldwin. I am a financial advisor with B and Dell Financial Architects. And really the key that I want to focus on with this is I want women to become one of the few, which is a financially empowered woman. And so everything that I do with you as my client is to help you become empowered in and reach any goals that you have set for yourself.
Absolutely. And I am Dr. Tavia Shepherd, and I endorse that message. Morgan, welcome, welcome. Can you share with everybody who you are and just let us know what you do?
Hi, everyone. My name is Morgan Parker, and I am a digital marketing strategist through my business, Morgan Social Studio. So this is actually one of my first introductory things with the Ladies Power Lunch, and I'm so happy to be here. What I do for my clients is I make the content creation and curation process so much easier and streamlined for women-owned businesses. So instead of sitting in front of computers and pulling out your hair, I'm here to help you.
Beautiful, Morgan. And Dr. Tanya, please share with us who you are and what you do. And if you're, inclined to share where you're calling from, please feel free to let us
say
all
that
know.
now. I'm Dr. Tanya English. I'm also known as the Soul Chiropractor. I've been in practice of healing for over 35 years, first as a massage therapist and then as a chiropractor and energy healer. And I've been doing energy healing online since 2014. So this was not a COVID thing. This was something that happened long before that. And I work with women who are feeling stuck, can't get to their goal for some unknown reason and have this mysterious block that's keeping them from getting there. And so we work on that and subconscious emotional memories that are overriding present time. I'll say that again slower. Subconscious emotional memories that are overriding present time. Your subconscious is in charge of your body. So we want to make sure that it's in the present and doing what it needs to do. And as Davia said, I'm in Iowa where we have, let's see how many degrees we have today. Oh, -4 Fahrenheit today. We're in the polar vortex. So we're all very cozy in our houses right now. But actually,
that really puts us in perspective, Dr. Tanya, because I'm in Connecticut and we're like, oh, it's like 13 degrees.
Right. Yeah, I think our wind chill is going to be something like today. It's going to get down to 35 below zero wind chill. So we don't go outside. It's like when the temperature goes up, we all go, oh, my head's not hurting when I walk outside. It must be warm.
Oh my goodness. I want to welcome Lisa. I'm so excited to see you and your picture from Africa in the background. That's so beautiful. Thanks for joining. Can you share with us about what you do and who you are?
Yeah, so good to be here. Thank you. My name is Lisa Dunford Dickman, and I am an expansion coach and an African safari retreat leader.
Nice.
I help one day to go on retreat with you, Lisa. I think that's going to be amazing. That's
I feel like someday is coming soon.
I feel like it is. I feel like it really, really is. One of our members just sent me a picture yesterday. She is actually in South Africa doing a 5K.
Oh, amazing. Amazing.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
So what I help women with I help spirit-led, impact-driven women really lean into self-love and to connect with divine consciousness, to connect with that wonder and that oneness so that they can create from their highest level and they can be more of the change they want to see in the world. Because what I know for sure is our families need this, our community needs this, and our planet needs it. Needs you to be operating at your highest and fullest expression of yourself.
Beautiful. I love that. And Shell, will you share who you are and what you do?
Yes. Hi. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here today. I'm Shell Sawyer. My company name is Finding Strength with Shell. I am a divorce financial specialist. I help people navigate the divorce process. Oh, she's taking a picture. Make good decisions for their future and move into that next chapter with some peace of mind and confidence.
Thank you, Shell. I didn't mean to interrupt you. You all
No,
just look so
no,
beautiful.
I saw you out of
I
the
had
corner
to
of my
capture
eye. I
that
was like,
moment.
"Ugh."
Like, ooh, let me post for that. Hey, Elizabeth, welcome, welcome. So glad to see you. Can you share who you are and what you do? And feel free to tell people about how you helped us with Live Your Optimal Life.
Yes, of course. Yeah, so my name is Elizabeth Hill. I'm in Farmington, Connecticut. I run Green Heart Living and Green Heart Living Press, and I help my mission is to make the world a more loving and peaceful place, one book at a time. And so I help people that are sharing their story because they want to help other people that are maybe going through a similar thing. I've had the great honor to work with a number of authors here in this room today, including doing many anthologies with Dr. Davia, and I've grown so much through reading the stories and learning more about people, and it's a great honor to get to keep doing that. So yeah, I love being here and seeing everybody.
Yes, it's wonderful to see you. Hi, Paige, my Duolingo friend. Welcome, welcome. Can you share, Paige, who you are and a little bit about what you do? I think Paige is frozen, so I'm going to just move on to Mickey. Mickey, can you share with everybody who you are and what you do?
Good morning, everybody. And thank you so much, Dr. Davia. I was on Facebook just momentarily till I could find the Zoom link. So I am moving the pendulum swinging to being a behavioral change expert. And I'm really specializing in helping female entrepreneurs achieve sustainable health goals. And the name of the business, new, everybody, this is even news maybe for Morgan, who's my daughter, is hearing this, but Entrepreneur Wellness Coaching. So Entrepreneur Wellness Coaching. And really looking at the psychology and the habit formation of why we do what we do or why we don't do what we should be doing and know what we should be doing, and then being able to create lifestyle changes that are long lasting. So also a very passionate woman about bringing women together, entrepreneurs specifically, managing director for eWomen Network Greater Hartford, lots of my friends and neighbors here, and our founder of eWomen Network Greater Hartford and Connecticut chapter, Andy Garland. So
thank you.
Beautiful. And I will see many of you tomorrow for eWomen our meeting, so that'll be fun. It's nice to be a part of all sorts of different groups and to meet all sorts of different women. And I enjoy being a part of eWomen. I enjoy being a part of Ladies Power Launch. I enjoy being a part of Women Women, who is hosting us and giving us the opportunity to broadcast this show today. But we've talked a lot about ourselves, and I'm sure folks who are watching along, they want to get down to business. They want to know, how can we get out of our own way and actually thrive as we move into this new year? So Gail, will you share who you are, share what you do, and then just dive right in with your panel, and let's really get to the heart of this.
Welcome, everyone. I'm so happy to be here and happy to see your beautiful faces. I'm a life coach. I've been a life coach before life coaching existed. I started off as a social worker and a therapist and a special ed teacher, and then decided to become a retreat leader and design 6 different seminars around the country. And I'm the president of Wellness Options Seminars. I'm an author. And I love what I do because my goal is to support and make it easy for people to transform, so that they can live their highest and best life, so that they can heal, let go of some of the woundology from the past that holds them back, so they can be more present and more successful and more confident with greater self-love. So I really work with people from all ends of the spectrum regarding incompletions or not being successful or fear of failure, all of it, and anxiety. So I love what I do. I love the fact that every time there is a success in the retreat or a one-on-one, it's a door that opens up, a two-way door. So I grow when you grow, and that's what I do. So let's dive into what we're doing today. We're going to be looking at what stops us. What are some of the barriers we put up without sometimes even consciously being aware of it, that stops us from being successful in life? And I know that some of the barriers that I have heard and I've experienced also is not having all of the information that I need to, sometimes we're not as organized as we think we need, we think we are. And we need to be able to expand our horizons so that we meet new people and we're able to have that information easily accessed so that we can be more confident in each little step we take. So today we have a beautiful, magnificent panelists. We've got Annie Garland, who is going to teach us and talk to us about the success and the positivity of social, social networking and being a professional networker, how important that is. And we're also going to be talking to Jackie Baldwin, who is, I'm going to call you a money coach, Jackie, but I know you're a financial advisor, who's going to support us from that end of the spectrum, so we can dismantle some of the fears and the anxieties that we have because we're not maybe achieving all the success that we want in life and living our optimal life, which is so important. I love the title of that book because it applies to everything. And we have Morgan Parker. I can't wait to hear about the social networking and the social media that she creates so that everything flows smoother and we can access information and have it out there so people can really know who we are, what our brand is, and what we do in life. So let's start with Annie. Annie, welcome.
Thank you.
Can you share some advice and support for us so that we can better address what we could be doing in the woulda, coulda, shouldas of life so that we can be more successful with our social networking, you know, our networking?
Right. Well, thank you. Connecting with people is key to success. And actually, if you don't know how to connect with people, even if you're in business, your business won't be successful. And it doesn't matter if you do social media because that won't be successful. So it's all really starts with meeting people. And if you don't know how to do that, I don't know how many people here have gone to school and took a class on, you know, did they teach you how to connect with people when you went to school? Not me, right? So good news is you can learn about it. And I've got some tools that can help you. Times are changing as I'm seeing, I'm looking at 2025, and actually virtual is getting more popular. People really don't want to go out and do the networking. 1 out of 4 people don't like to do in-person networking. I don't know if you knew that, but they're also 60% are using social media. So that's where Morgan comes in. So we're going to need you too to do this. So I have a couple of tools, and you know, the whole thing about networking is getting people to gain more confidence networking. And so when you, I have a thing, it's called my ASK method. I love to work in acronyms, and it's how do you approach someone? People don't know what to say when they do, and they don't follow up. And that's my ASK. A stands for the approach. S stands for what do you say when you do, and the K stands for the key. And the key is really do follow up. And has anybody here, you have problems networking, approaching? I know Mickey, you're a star. So when you approach somebody, I'm going blank here. It must be my age. You know, how do you?
No, it's not. No, it's not, Annie.
So what do you say? So I have another little tool. I call it my 3-2-1. So when you go to a networking meeting, I don't know about you, but and I developed this because there was a time that I walked into a networking meeting over a sea of people. I didn't know anyone, and I'm sitting there going, how do I make this magic? And so I just approached somebody and said, because you always want to have a goal when you're networking, you want to go out and decide who do you want to meet, what do you want to present? And so I walk up to a person who's either sitting or standing alone, because guess what? They don't like to network either. And when I approach that person, this is my little formula. I say, I'm here to meet 1 or 2 people that I've never met before. Tell me what brought you here today. And so that usually works. It opens them up. It brings them into the fold, and you can start asking questions. There's some other key things too. Listening is really critical when you're networking. When I speak to somebody, I am so focused on that person. They're the only person in the room. It's like a bomb could go off, and they know that I'm giving them attentive listening. And that really subconsciously, and that might be where Tanya comes in, the subconscious is saying, I know this person is really into me. And so that's a couple of little secrets that I have.
I love that, Annie.
Yeah, thank you. And just asking questions. And actually on my website and in my book, I have 10 questions that you can ask if you're stuck. And one for women, you can always say, I really like your shoes. That'll get a conversation started. So let's see, what else can I answer here? What else do you have, Gail?
Well, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
If we're building our business or we're building our profession, our career, and we want to do some networking, and yes, you have to start by looking into someone's eyes. I believe that. I think a lot has to be done, and I want to ask you that question. We can do it over this, social media, but there is something about, as you just said, being in the presence of someone else. How can we do that more and get out there more so that we can accrue these relationships? And as you said, follow up, so that we can help them and they can help us. So it's a two-way street.
Well, classic example is you really want to find your tribe. And I call that, in my book, it's called What Does Men's Underwear and Networking Have in Common? And because you want to find the right fit. And going to an organization like eWomen Network or Davia's organization, LPL, when you go there, you want to reach out, meet someone, you want to try it a couple of times. And once you're into these groups, you can, I think, volunteering to be either a greeter or be at the front desk. I know that I've stuck Mickey doing that many times because it's just a great way, if you don't know how to meet people, is to come to an organization, be a part of it, and then get really involved. I would say that's one way of doing it.
Okay, that's perfect. Marianne, you had something you wanted to add? Did you have something that you wanted to add or ask Annie? Does anyone have anything they want to ask Annie at this point in time? So Annie, just to follow up, so go to networking events. We can put ourselves out there. However, there are a lot of times we don't have the confidence, or someone may not have the confidence to do that. What would you say to someone like that? But they want to be successful.
Well, I think networking is like nutrition and fitness. We all know what to do, but it's hard to do it. And so you just have to just push through and just get out there and meet people. And actually, you can go with a buddy to a place, but I think it's always best just to get out there and get the confidence. Most people are, they lack the confidence because they feel if they approach someone, they're afraid they're going to be too aggressive and pushy, and they don't want to have that used car salesman mentality, or they're afraid that people won't like you. And so to overcome that, you just have to push forward. And just like I said, if you use that little tool, I'm here to meet two people or one or two people that I've never met before, and just go out and try that as a tool. It works. I've heard it time and time again where that's an amazing tool to work with.
I happen to agree with that. And I just want to add, Annie, that, from creating a following, a large following years ago, it was the follow-up. And it was that one-on-one eye contact, and also just being present, really present, not scattered, but with that person to get to know that person, because that way one door opens and another door opens, and we can learn how to support one another. Because as women, that's what is so important in our businesses, is to learn how to support one another. And I believe that through the networking is a very important thing, the physical networking. And I thank you for that. Thank you, Annie.
Thank you. I do want to say, you never know who you meet that knows someone that needs to know you.
Yes.
So just take the chance and go up, because everyone that you meet knows something that you don't know. And I look at people like a gift, unwrap the gift and see who they really are. And that's just a beginning phase of getting to know people.
I love it. That's beautiful. Heart to heart. Yes. Jackie, welcome. And I'm thrilled to have you today as a panelist, Jackie. Can you share with us some advice and tools that would support women, maybe just starting out or maybe in the middle, who want to be more successful and really don't know what to do regarding their finances or how to get that in place? And there is some fear around that.
Sure. No, I'd be happy to. And thank you again for inviting me to be part of this very prestigious panel. I'm delighted to be on here with both Morgan and Annie and yourself. So really, when we talk about barriers, there's many, but let's just kind of break it down into 6 general barriers. And those that you can break down as to self-imposed, and the others are environmental or social barriers for women in business in particular. So these are in no particular order, and I know 6 sounds like a lot. I'm just going to run through them, but I bet you that those of you who are here will resonate with at least a few of these. So one is pricing and undervaluation. Okay, I think I know myself, I struggle with this, which seems so silly as a financial advisor, but I undervalue the business or the services that I provide to my clients. And so pricing and undervaluation is a huge part of holding yourself back from the potential of the growth of your business. So we can either underprice our products and our services. A lot of times this comes from social conditioning, and then the lack of confidence in what we have to bring to the table, that it's unique, that it has a value to it. And so therefore that's a big piece. Another piece is that work-life balance. Now, since 2020, I feel like this is actually eased up some, but prior to 2020, we all felt like we had to be hitting the ground running and working 60 hours a week. And if you weren't doing that, you weren't a success. And in the meantime, your family might be struggling, your health is declining because you're pushing yourself too much. Since COVID, I feel as though we've tried to really build that in, but I cannot tell you, I consider myself a holistic financial advisor, and that's because I believe in the triad of health, which is we need to be financially healthy, physically healthy, and emotionally, spiritually healthy, which is why I love this Ladies Power Lunch group, because I can bring in all the folks that can help in the other areas besides the financial aspect. But if any one of those areas is out of whack, it can really have a detrimental effect on the other two. So work-life balance is hard, especially for women. We tend to take on that caretaker role. So we are oftentimes in that sandwich generation where we're trying to take care of children and we're trying to take care of our parents. And we can find ourselves burning ourselves out. And then our business sometimes gets the dregs of what's left. So somewhere in there, you have to have that work-life balance. We also, as women, I think as the caretakers and things like that, we happen to have some risk aversion. So our male counterparts may be much more, feeling much more incentivized or confident in going out there and taking those risks, where we tend to hold back ourselves and say, oh, I don't know if I could, take that risk on. For example, I have clients who really wanted to step into creating their own business, but it really involved them totally stepping away from a paycheck. I myself had to do that at some point in my life. So when you're stepping away from that known paycheck, which is that that safe space, and you're entering into this space of, oh my gosh, now I've got to make this business work, that can be terrifying. And it can hold us back because we'll never take that step and make that business our sole priority. Another one is lack of financial education. And that's really where I can come in. A lot of women struggle with financial literacy. And so therefore, and then they feel embarrassed. They don't want to ask. They might have gotten themselves into some financial situations where they have a lot of debt and they're embarrassed. I always tell everybody, if I had somebody coming in to clean my house, my gut instinct would be to tidy it up first, because I'd be embarrassed about, I have dogs and fur all over the place and all that. Isn't that silly? I'm having somebody in to clean my house. Why do I have to try to tidy it up first? When you need me or a financial advisor is when your house is the messiest sometimes. Don't worry about being embarrassed. Just bring somebody in that can really help give you those tips and tricks and help you navigate that. Because we need to be able to manage our cash flow and our investments and things like that. Another piece is networking barriers. And then Annie, what you said is so true. So a lot of times what we'll do is we'll be shy or feel like, oh my goodness, I don't know what to say to people. Guess what? We're all in the same boat. Some of us may, have done it a little longer and be a little more comfortable, but when you walk into a networking environment, especially I have found male dominated environments. That's why E-Women and Ladies Power Lunch are so great, especially for women just starting out. You're walking into a room of sisters, some brothers, but mostly sisters, and we're all here to support one another. And so that's the best way to start breaking into that networking. If you start by networking at a chamber event, for example, which tends to be more male dominated, you can start feeling a little uneasy and unsure. So, to Annie's point, find your tribe. And then another one is, quite frankly, women receive less help financially funding their business. It's just a known fact. It's changing, but it hasn't changed enough. But there are people out there willing to invest in your business as a venture capitalist, and also go to I love credit unions. They're so much, they're easier to work with, and they're more apt to give you the funding that you need. But don't ever, I guess it all boils down to have confidence in yourself. You didn't start your business because you thought that what you had wasn't valuable. It is valuable. Value yourself, value what you're bringing, go into every opportunity with confidence, knowing that I am here. And what's the worst that somebody's going to say? No or not now. Okay, moving on. I just look at it that way. Just try to go into everything with confidence. And if, as Annie, I think you had said too, if you need to go with a buddy somewhere, I regularly will go with women to events, or I will walk into an attorney's office with them. I help them. I come alongside them because I know a lot of it. Once you start building up that self-confidence, there's nothing that's going to stop you. You're going to grow that business to whatever your potential is, but you have to be confident in yourself. Put aside all the social barriers, anything else, and you're going to do great. You just need to have those right people in the life, doing life and business with you.
Thank you, Jackie. That was wonderful. And it comes back to the mindset. constantly reframing the limiting beliefs into a positive statement about ourselves, because life changes, the world changes, and sometimes we have to, we find ourselves redefining our lives, like I am. So the truth of the matter is, take what has worked, keep doing it, and then seek out people like Jackie and Annie and, and Morgan, so that, you can have some special support as to your finances. So the more organized you are and the more you know, the better it is. And it all comes back to taking that next step. So speaking about next steps, and thank you, Jackie, a lot of wisdom and a lot of power when we can give ourselves that confidence. Morgan, welcome. And I'm delighted to have you here. Absolutely delighted to have you here. I absolutely could use your support. And so I'd like to hear some advice for all of us who may not be as well-versed in social media in order to grow our businesses and our success. So could you share some of your wisdom, please?
Absolutely. Thank you so much to Gail and Dr. Davia for having me on here. I'm very excited to be here. I would say that actually a lot of the advice that I would give coincides with what Annie and Jackie have already said, but with a more social media focus. So Annie's totally right. When you go into social networking, that is your base for your following, right? The people that you meet in person are going to be the first people to follow you in your social media channels. So use social media as a tool for networking as part of your follow-up. So first piece of advice is have it be part of your follow-up process. After you've met someone in person and after you're looking to make contacts with them again, whether that's through a coffee chat or anything else, have following them or even making plans for that coffee chat through social media be part of that so that your channels become visible to that person and they're more likely to follow you back and engage with your content. So that in itself, so social networking being like the foundation and then using social media as your follow-up. Another piece that I would like to touch on is that when you are coming up with your digital assets and what it is that you want to post and how you want to connect with people on social media, a huge misconception is that everything that you put out there has to be perfect. And I will tell you this, most people looking at your digital assets on your channels don't see the things that you see about yourself, which is relating back to what Jackie was talking about with confidence. So when it comes to your own confidence, those little nitpicky things that you find in your digital assets that you don't like about yourself, because in all reality, if you're on social media and utilizing your social media channels for your business, you should be putting yourself in front of the camera, whether that is for a photo, whether that is for video. Nobody is seeing the things that you are seeing and that you are nitpicking about yourself. And you know what? Nobody else cares that much that they're going to be nitpicking. So those things that you're thinking about yourself, you need to reframe your mindset in order to really put yourself out there and find the audience that you are looking for on social media. So with that, I find also that women think that they don't know as much about their industry as they actually do. So letting that imposter syndrome set in and keep them from sharing information that might attract their target audience. So share information willingly and have no intention in it, but to share information and serve other people. That's what I would say about the utilization of social media within your business and just taking it to the next level within this year.
Morgan, how important are email lists?
Depends on your target audience. I would say for the, like 35 plus generation, definitely email lists are, super, super important. However, when it comes to the younger generation, they're going to spend more time on social media versus within their email, if that makes sense.
So when you say social media, can you tell us what are some of the stations that we should go to? Is it LinkedIn? Is it Facebook? Is it, you tell me.
So Dr. Davia and I actually talked a little bit about this last week. And so within your business, if you are business to business, you're going to find that the platform that you want to use the most is LinkedIn. And then if you are a B2C business, so business to consumer, then you're going to find that basically everything else is going to be applicable for you. So that's your Facebook, your Instagram, your TikTok, platforms such as that.
How difficult is it to start doing this, Morgan? And I know it comes back to mindset and confidence, breaking through those barriers those invisible barriers that we put in front of us, because sometimes the challenge is doing something new.
Yeah, absolutely. That can be extremely scary. But in all honesty, the only equipment that you need is yourself, something to film with, and an iPhone or an Android is perfectly fine for that. And whatever social media platforms you would like to utilize for your business. And most platforms, you can create those accounts for free.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm going to open this up now and ask all of you ladies out there to please ask questions of any of our panelists. If you have a question for greater clarity, so that you can learn something yourself and be able to assimilate that and move forward.
Gail?
Yeah.
But I'd like to tag on to Morgan,
Yeah, please.
Because LinkedIn is the go-to for B2B, and HubSpot just came up with some numbers. 85% of the jobs that you will find it on LinkedIn, and it goes through networking. And 70% of all jobs are not published. So when it comes to wanting a job, you really do need to get out and network. You need to go through your social media channels and make those connections and make them in person as well. So I just wanted to add that little
Yeah, that's
segment.
great. Thank you, Annie. Appreciate that. Anyone else have a question? Instead of, yeah, Elizabeth.
This is like a comment and a question I'd like feedback
Sure.
on, which is, because I know for me, it was very hard for me to start in networking, and Dr. Devia's Ladies Power Lunch was the first place I went to where I actually felt comfortable-ish, right? And so I felt like, oh, I feel comfortable here, and I made friends here, and all of that. And after that, I was able to start doing other things. But I guess my question is around, like, when do you feel like you should keep showing up to a certain place, or when do you go, oh, I need to try different ones until I find ones where I actually feel like I'm getting value and it's comfortable enough for me to be there? Like, I was curious about people's, and it could also apply to social media as well. Like, when do you keep working on a platform, or when do you like jump to something else to see what's more fun for you? So,
Anyone want to answer that?
I would say when it comes to the platforms, you got to find the one that's right for you. And if it works, stay with it. Just you don't need all three platforms. Yeah. I'm a big LinkedIn, but a lot of my business comes out of Facebook, more on a social business side, but the business side is more for LinkedIn for making those connections. I don't know what other platforms. I've been told I'm too old for TikTok, but a lot of, I don't know, Morgan, tell me about that.
You're not too old for TikTok, Annie, not at all.
Annie, we need to have lunch. This mindset's got to change.
My VA said, oh no, TikTok.
No, it's got to change.
Yeah.
Elizabeth, let me ask you a question. You're talking about platforms, but I also got a feeling that you were talking about different groups that you were doing, right?
Yeah. And that would answer Elizabeth's question. It's like, think of it, and I'm putting this visual, trying, working men's underwear. You want to find the right fit, right? Yeah. And so you have to try different ones out. And there are so many of them. Of course, we love Devia and we love Mickey, and they have an extraordinary group, but there's Rotary and there's Lions Club and there's Chambers, and you should go to them and try them out. One thing I don't particularly like, and this is me, and I don't want to offend anybody, but you've got to at least try it twice. I've been to an organization, they said, oh, well, you get one time to be here and you got to sign up. And it's like, you want to try it a couple of times. You have to see if, people make you feel, because Maya Angelou says, it's not what you say, it's not what you do, it's how they make you feel. And that's what you want to get from a networking group. How does the group, fill your bucket, make you feel like you belong? And both Devia and Mickey, those groups are exceptional at doing that. I mean, they've just mastered it. So,
and sage advice, I always tell people you should belong to more than one group.
Yeah.
You don't grow your circle by belonging to one group.
I agree wholeheartedly. And I also feel that the essence of what you were saying, Annie and Elizabeth, is that you have to be with a group for a certain period of time before you determine, is this working for me or not? And it's not just working regarding your business. Are you getting business? Yes, that is a very important piece. But it's also, there may be a women's support group that you want to join, because emotionally it's supporting you in creating alignment and balance and more self-love and self-care. So it could be a yoga group, that kind of thing. But the more diverse you are, I think the better the results. But also you need to stay with something that feels right intuitively. That's just how I feel.
And sometimes
yeah. Can I interject here?
Yes.
I wanted to just invite Lisa to share her perspective, because she dropped a comment in the chat that I thought was pretty interesting.
Lisa. Yeah.
Yes, you, Lisa.
So it's been my focus this year, well, this month, so probably the last 6 months, is expanding my circles and really stepping out there and being in the right rooms and trying things out. So I've been a sponsor at other people's events that were new to me or newish to me. And it's really been my experience that I meet the people in person and like Morgan said, and then what happens is that I follow up usually on Facebook Messenger or friending them on Facebook so that they can stay in touch and we can continue that connection. And so that we develop a relationship. And I make sure that when I do that, I don't just friend someone. Like I actually reach out and say why I want to connect with them and what struck me at the event and what I felt when we were in person. And it's a great perspective, Morgan, that to see that as the follow-up and nurturing that relationship and nurturing that connection. I hadn't really seen it in that way, but that's been actually what's happened.
It's good. That's what's happening organically for you.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Can I add?
And I feel like it'll just be more helpful to actually intend it that way.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Who wanted to speak just now?
I think Paige wanted to say
Paige?
something. She dropped a question in the chat.
Paige, if you could unmute yourself. There
Yeah,
you go.
that's a good idea for whom we want to speak. So Morgan, I had a question, and it really has to do with what do you see in terms of age streams and or business type streams? I think I know the age one, but I want to hear what you have to say about it in terms of the big three, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. The real question, like I feel like I'm dialed into like the typical age, although I'm on all of them, but do you see different business to customer streams doing better or being more effective or whatever, depending upon the stream? That's the question.
And we're talking like solely on age here?
No, actually, speak to age, please. I feel like I've got a better beat on that one, but I'm really interested in, have you seen, for example, kind of business heavy content doing better in one place, or more like fitness doing better in one place, mental health doing better in one place, personal growth, like that?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So I'm going to touch on a couple of things here. One being, who is your ideal client avatar? Who is that person? Like giving them a name and giving them a life. And so breathing life into that client avatar and then asking, how do they consume content and which channels are they using? So that's where I would focus my efforts based on your ideal client avatar. So if my ideal client avatar was someone who is just graduating from college and they're getting their first corporate job, and I have a product or service that benefits them, then I would be on TikTok because that's where they are. Where are they spending the most time? So yes, within industries, certain platforms work well, but also it's really going to depend on age and generation and other demographics as well.
That was really helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, that
No
was a
problem.
very good question, Paige. Thank you for that.
Wonderful. Ladies, this is such a really rich and collaborative discussion, and it feels like I wish we had more time because we're just coming up on the end of our time together. Great news though, we'll be back here next month so we can have more conversations about more things. Gail, did you have anything that you wanted to share as we wrap up?
Now, I just wanted to say that I'm walking away with wisdom from all of the panelists, and every question that was asked or every statement that was made has made a difference because we grow together. We have to remember that, you know, as our lives change, we have to bring ourselves to the place of where do you want to go next? Who am I in this moment now? Not let the past define you, but rescale your life so that you can learn from the past. You can, but it won't define who you are in the moment now. And then choose with an organized mind, what do I really want? Answer that question for yourself. What do I really want for myself in this life? Because that question is a big question. And it may not be the same question, the same answer that you had 5 years ago or 2 years ago or 6 months ago. So bring yourself present in your mind, in your heart, and your soul. And thank you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate being your co-host.
Thank you so much, Gail, and thanks to everybody who has had an opportunity to be on a panel and be part of the audience and contribute your advice to the advice that we are here accumulating to share with everyone. I have been busy, as everybody has been talking, basically making notes for all of us with all the tips that you've given inside the Ladies Power Lunch Facebook group. And so for those of you who are members, you can go back in and just look at the comments and you'll see the main points that most people mentioned. And if you have other tips or other questions or other things that come up, I recommend going back into that chat, going into the comments and dropping your comments there, dropping your suggestions there, dropping your tips there, because this is the idea of the collaboration, right? We have an idea. We made the wheel. Now we share it with everybody else. Thank you all so much for joining us today. At the end of every show, I pull a card. And this morning, I don't know, I felt really pulled to pull from this deck, the Sacred Rebels Guidebook by Alana Fairchild. I know a lot of us in this group have this particular deck. I like it. I like it a lot. It was probably one of the first ones that I had the opportunity to meet. And as I say all the time, I don't find these cards to be predictive. What I do find is that they always ping something in my mind. It makes me kind of look at things a little differently. So this one that I pulled today, it says she feels, she knows. And based on what it says, I feel like it's the perfect card for a conversation today. How do we get out of our own way? It says, an illumination is erupting from within you as a vision that is bringing what was once obscured into clarity. This is not likely to happen as a blinding, shocking insight, but as more of a softer, gentle knowing. It is like knowing something without understanding exactly when or how you came to know it. This oracle brings you specific guidance. The situations in your current life are particularly geared towards a more significant manifestation that is coming to you according to your life path and purpose. This is a stage of preparation and of building a foundation that will hold you strong and centered as your creative journey unfolds and your life path becomes ever more brilliant and luminous. I feel like this card is saying, folks, like Morgan said, just go for it. Just do it. Don't try to be perfect. Don't wait. It's now because you're getting ready for something that's so big and so wonderful. Thanks everybody for joining us today. If you're not already a member of Ladies Power Lunch, I invite you to go to growsmarternotharder.com/login and you can join us there. And you'll also see information about all our upcoming events, including our upcoming retreats. Thank you, Gail. Thank you, Annie, Jackie, Morgan for being on the panel. Thanks everybody for being our guests today. And I'll see you all on the next show. Bye everyone.
Thank